for G3, this is a 2-day lesson. I am not pushing it to 1 day. No, this is a pretty intense concept. I want to make sure that we take our time and really master it. So it's okay that we're going to be a day behind. We're already cruising way ahead of everybody else, okay? So, you're learning I can target. You can calculate perimeter of various sectors. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing today. So sector is like section. Think about that, and it's part of a circle. A sector is part of a circle. It's a portion. It's like a slice of pizza out of a whole pizza, or 3/4 of a pizza. And I have 3 circles here for you to make 3 different sectors. A sector has to include the center of a circle, so it has to have 2 radiuses. Okay, so here is a sector. It's a 1/4 of the circle. That sector is a 1/4 of the circle. What's this sector? An 1/8 of a circle. Good job, Zach. The sector is an 1/8. It's half of a 1/4. Half of a 1/4 is an 1/8. And what's this sector? 3/4. And a lot of students like to think that the sector is always the smaller one, and it's not always the smaller one. Sometimes the sector is the larger one, so just be careful about that. Okay, before I move forward, we need to talk about perimeter and remind ourselves that when we're talking about perimeter, we're adding the outside of any particular shape. Same thing with a sector. If I wanted to find the perimeter of the sector, I would add this side and that side and part of the circumference. Wouldn't I? Circumference, I heard you talking earlier, is the same as perimeter of a circle. If I wanted to find the perimeter of this other sector, I would add the radius, that's the outside, the other radius is the other outside, and then this portion of the circumference. It's not the whole circumference, it's part of the circumference. Radius, radius, part of a circumference. And that would tell me my perimeter. Do you agree with that? All right, let's move forward. So perimeter is some of the sides outside the shape. I made that kind of funny. Oh, well. Doesn't make the perfect sense, but we'll roll with it. It means just add outside. So when you think about that, and going off of what we just went through, you're really going radius plus radius plus part of the circumference, right? Plus part of circumference. Pretend that's written fully. It's not. I ended at N. So radius plus part of the circumference is the perimeter of a sector. Now if you feel okay with that, you're going to do great. Do you feel okay with that?
Yeah.
It's just finding, the only difficult part is finding the part of the circumference.
Do that already.
They give you any of the lines?
Huh?
No.
They give you any of the lines?
Yeah?
They just like to do it.
Yes.
No matter what.
They will be making
Hey, turn around. Steps. Steps. First thing we want to do is make sure that we have radius. So find the radius. And then we want to figure out, because once we find the radius, we're doing pretty good. Then I already know that I'm going to go radius plus radius. Then the second part is you need to find the part of the circumference. And how do you do that? That's the only confusing part. Well, a sector takes up a fraction of of the whole circle, right? A fraction of means multiply, so it's really fraction times the whole circumference. And the whole circumference is 2 pi r. So you're just going a fraction times the whole circumference. And that'll give you your part,
Or just divide it.
okay? Dependent. You can just divide it if it's half or a fourth, but if it's 3/5, you can't divide it. Okay? All right, so and then it goes radius plus the circumference part. So part of circumference. All right, so let's do one. Okay. I saw last hour they really liked to do find the fraction part first, and I think that's probably the best bet. So find the perimeter of the given sector. My radius is 4, so I already have it. So I want to find this part. So my whole circumference is 2 pi r, right? 2 pi times 4, 8 pi. That's my whole circumference. This takes up a fourth. It's a fourth of it. Of means multiply. So you're going 1/4 times 8 pi. Do you see what I did there? Because this is really 8 pi over 1. So it's 2 pi. 2 pi is what this is right here. 2 pi. Do you see where that came from? So I took my whole circumference, 2 pi r, that's right here, 2 pi r, which turned into 8 pi, and then I did this part, fraction, I took a fourth of it, times it by the whole amount. So I went 1/4 times 8 pi, which gave me 2 pi. Now I have to find the whole thing. So radius plus radius, so what is that? 4 plus 4 plus part of my circumference. 8 plus 2 pi. And leave it like that. I leave it exact for this one. Technically, it's just like having an equation. Pretend pi is a variable. Tomorrow, your homework will have it look like that, 2 pi plus 8. You put that term first. Same thing, but it just looks better. People. Yep.
How did you get the 1/4 times
This
8
part,
pi? Yeah, how did you get that to 2 pi?
because I cross simplify. Because 1/4 times, it's like 8 pi over 1. 4 and 8 share that factor of 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. All right. Next one. Find the perimeter of a sector that covers 5/8 of a circle that has a diameter of 14. All right, same strategy. I'm going to find part of my circumference. So first off, I want to know r. R is equal, if my diameter is 14, what's r? 7. So my total circumference is 14 pi, 2 pi r, or diameter times pi, right? I like to have r though because I know that r is, I need that for my perimeter. Okay, so now I cover 5/8 of it. Of means multiply. So it's going to be 5/8 times 14. Let me write that nicer. 14 pi over 1, really. They share a factor of 2. So I cross simplify. 35 pi over 4. Leave it improper. Just leave it like that. Now keeping it into perspective, this is just the portion of my circumference. So if I had a sector that covered the 5/8 of it, I don't know. 5/8 is over a half, so I know that it would be like something like this maybe, approximately. So this 35 pi over 4 would be this. So now I have to have, what do I need for perimeter? That and that, right? So radius plus radius, radius is 7. 7 plus 7 plus 35 pi over 4. 35 pi over 4 plus 14 is my perimeter. I think that's it. Because the next page is sector area, correct? So we're going to practice this.